Hello, viewers, and welcome to Time with Alumni. Today we have with us one of the sons of Professor Kumapley. The name will be familiar to you if you've been to the college, you were at the college, because of the Kumapley Auditorium. So we have with us Raymond Kumapley, professional engineer. He is really strict about me not using the engineer before the name because he's not registered with the Ghana Institution of Engineers. And so, but when I say engineer at this point, I'm referring to ENGINEER. So,
okay.
Thank you so
Accepted.
much for your time.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for agreeing to go through a tirade of questions about your life because we want to know more about you.
Sure.
It's exciting to know that your dad served in a very great capacity. We recently had an interview with two people, Prof. Wright and Prof. Jackson, and they both spoke about your dad. And people have spoken about your dad, those who've had interactions with him. And your brother was here too with his family.
Right.
So it's exciting to be able to also continue the conversation with you, with a focus on you and what you've made with your life as well as an alumnus. So I'll ask you the usual questions. You could give us a background right from secondary school, or you could just delve right into your life here, undergrad first. But we'd like to know more about you, married, what's happening at the moment, and then we can go back down memory lane.
Okay.
So you
sure.
can take it away.
Thank you. And
You're welcome.
Thank you for the invitation. It's always encouraging to talk to the UST and the college. So as you may be aware, or you mentioned, my dad was a lecturer on campus, head of department and dean of the college for many years. So I was born on the university campus. I was actually born on the university hospital and spent most of the time on campus. So I was very familiar with the campus life and being at UST. I did go to Achimota School for my secondary education, so that was 7 years away from Tech. But other than that, through graduation, I was always on campus. And so with family, I am the fourth kid of my dad, and the second civil engineer. As you mentioned, my oldest brother is a civil engineer. I graduated in 98, should have been 97, but that was a 1-year strike, the usual. That was a 1-year strike. I think that was between our first and second year or second and third year.
Okay.
So graduated in 98. I'm here in the US. I pursued a master's at Purdue University in Indiana. After, and I've been working in the US since then. Yes, married with kids, and I live in the Chicago area and in Indiana.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you a few more questions. So you've lived there all your life, more or less, on campus? Okay, yes. No, all your growing life, because at the moment you live in the US.
Right.
Yeah, what was it like living here? You came to do engineering with your dad. Just give us a background. Like, was that the main influence because your dad was here, or did you decide to do it because it's really what you wanted to do? What influenced your decision to do that here?
Well, honestly, it was natural, having a dad who's a civil engineer, an educator. It was natural to consider civil engineering, but that honestly wasn't my first choice. Okay. My first choice was to do medicine, to be a doctor, and I preferred biology to math. I was very good at both, but I preferred biology. Now, the only reason, this may be a surprise to many, some of my close friends know about this, but the only reason I chose engineering over medicine was I was very sensitive to smell as a kid. And I could not stand the detergent that was used to clean hospitals in Ghana. There's this, I forgot what they call it, but there's this quite pungent, strong and quite pungent, at least to me, So I couldn't see myself,
Working in
having
that
a career and living in an environment or working in an environment that I couldn't tolerate. So then the second choice, civil engineering, which has been great. I mean, I spent most of my time on my dad's projects growing up. So I was familiar with civil engineering, but it wasn't my first choice.
Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. Since you decided to choose that because of the smell of the detergent.
Yes.
It's debatable to say whether it was your first or your second choice.
Right.
What was campus life like for you, as in when you became a student?
It was fun. I mean, for me, it was fun.
You're
I mean,
a
I
social
knew.
kind of person.
Yes, social. I knew a lot of people. So campus life was fun, and it was a good experience. It was a pleasant experience.
Share more.
Well, so my civil engineering class was a fun class. It was when we were in first year. Our class was the largest that the school had ever seen at the time. I think we were 50. You can imagine looking at the numbers now, hearing a class of 50. Yes.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yes. So we were the largest class that the department had ever accepted. And it was admittedly noisy. I mean, my classmates, frequently talking. It was common to see lecturers in adjacent classes sometimes come over and scold us for being loud. So that should give you an idea of the kind of people that were in the class. But these were, studious, folks, but we just love to have fun, tease each other, entertain ourselves both in class and outside.
Outside class.
Yes.
How many women did you have in your class?
We had 5 women in the class, if I recall.
Out of the 50?
Yes.
So 45 were men.
Yes, and one left. One of the ladies left after the strike. So the numbers changed. So we started as 50. And after, I think when we came to second year, 3 of our classmates had left because of the strike. It was a year-long strike. And so 3 classmates.
Did they further education somewhere else? Or
yes, they left to Europe to continue there. Yeah, across the department and the school, there were a lot of students that left. But for my class, I think 3 of my classmates left. There was 2 gentlemen and 1 lady, and then I think we gained 4. There were 4 other men that joined us later. I think they were mature students who came from the diploma class to join us. Yes, I think it was 5 or 6. I can name them now, but unfortunately, we lost one of our classmates, one of our female classmates.
Oh, sorry about that. But that's interesting. It really proves that you had fewer women then.
Yes, the engineering department overall. Yes, the engineering department overall had very few ladies, but then the civil and electrical class had even fewer. And I think probably mechanical also had few. I think chemical had the most ladies. I think electrical had 2, and civil had 5 or 6 ladies. Yeah.
Okay. So did you leave for the US right after your undergraduate studies and then stayed on, or?
Close. So I graduated in 98 and I left in 99 after my national service.
So yes, you did. Right after that.
I did. Yes, right after that. And I worked, my dad had a consulting company in Accra, Conterra Limited.
Before I spoke about it.
Yes, Conterra Limited. So I did spend a little bit of time there, but it was less than a year.
Okay. So I'm asking this out of curiosity, not to make you feel bad or anything, but yes, why did you choose to stay in the US and work as opposed to probably
coming back? Yes. That's a question I get frequently and a question I ask myself occasionally. So I did consider staying in the US briefly after college, just to, gain some experience, some other type of experience, be exposed to, the state of the practice in the US. And admittedly, it was always, I will go back next year. There was always a challenging project here. There was something more exciting here. And I eventually, unfortunately, gave up on moving back, after getting married and starting a family and all of that. So it's, so that's what caused me staying. But yeah.
That's cool. So what are some of the things you have been able to achieve, like just working where you are at the moment? I think you haven't even told us exactly where you work and what it is you do. You're a civil engineer, but then
Yes.
I know civil has several branches: transport, water. Yeah. So what is your specialty? What's the name of where you're working, and what have you been doing?
Okay, so I went to my master. I have a master's, from Purdue. That was in transportation planning. But most of my career has been in transportation design, more design and planning. But lately, most of my projects have been in the area of risk management and overall corridor management, program management. So I've been somewhat removed from the technical design and review. It's more corridor programming for large capital improvements. I work for SE3 LLC, which is an engineering company which is about 22 years old. It was founded in 2004. And we have offices in we have 6 offices in 3 states. We've done work in probably half the states across the country. The company, it's more into transportation engineering, so roads design, and we do planning, design and construction management, which would be construction supervision in Ghana. And we also do some work for private developers, design and parking lots, drainage, stuff like that. And I'm currently the owner of the company. So similar to my dad owning the company in Ghana, it was always something I aspired to do, to be the owner of a firm. So yes, I own the company.
So dream accomplished.
Partially.
Oh wow, does that mean you set another goal, or you had several goals and you've accomplished one of them?
Well, owning a company, and then I'm not the only owner. I have 4 other partners, so there are 5 owners of the firm. Owning a company is just one part of it. Growing the company to be successful, and retaining staff, working on bigger and bigger projects.
Okay.
It's really what the goal is. So yes, we've accomplished just a small part of the goal.
Okay. So in relation to this, do you have Ghanaians? Do you work with Ghanaians? Like, have you employed Ghanaians where you are?
In the company, we only have one other Ghanaian in the company. We did have a second who left some years ago. Yes, but yeah.
Okay. And what about internships? I'm just asking because you're an alumnus. So do you make a deliberate effort to recruit maybe for internships Ghanaians or Blacks or something like that?
Yeah, we do have interns, and we've interviewed many Ghanaians. I and the ownership, we make an effort because we are a minority certified firm. We do look out for minorities, women, and everyone. Try to give people an opportunity. Always looking for the best candidate, and many times Ghanaians are equally capable, just like anyone else. So, the challenges come in where the location of the office, particularly for internships, if it's an international student, let's say, and the person may not have family in the location where we have an office, and accommodation is a problem for them, sometimes they consider options that are more convenient for them. But we have had some Ghanaians as interns. Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I hope I didn't put you in an uncomfortable position.
No, at all. At all.
Okay,
At all.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Well, following that question, have you had interactions? Like, have you deliberately stayed? I know that because I've been communicating with you as an alumnus,
Yes.
and I know, yes, but then just for the sake of this interview, have you kept deliberate touch with the college since you left?
Yes, I have. I mean, it's a big part of my life, and what I've become and who I am. I was molded on the university campus, so it does have a special place in my heart. And also, my dad worked on campus for 31 years. Wow. So I lived and grew up there. So yes, I've been in touch with the faculty frequently, okay. Specifically, and not even alone. My year group, that's there's members of the year group also have an interest in supporting the university. So we have sponsored many, either gifts or scholarships for students on campus. Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yes, I do know that your family has this scholarship, or is it award, given to the best civil student, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, the best student in geotechnical engineering, which was recognized in. Yes, so that's in honor of my dad. He was a professor in geotechnical engineering. So we instituted this award in his honor, and it's going to run for 31 years, representing each year the number of years that he worked on campus. So I think we are currently in the 12th year.
You have a long way to go.
Yes, we have a long way to go, and hopefully we can attain and possibly exceed it. But the goal is to fund this for 31 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Right.
I have witnessed these awards, and you and then all the others who decided to award students for their efforts. It makes a huge difference in their lives.
Yes.
Because then they are looking forward to it. So they strive to maintain that CWA or even go above it so that they can get the award. And it's very motivational. So the college is grateful to you and your family.
Right. And besides, personally what my family and I are doing, my siblings and I, as I mentioned, my classmates have been very active. So I believe we've made donations on various milestones of since graduation. So at one time we donated computers and projectors, and then I believe I may be wrong on the exact milestone, it was the 20th year of graduation or something, we donated lab equipment to the geotech lab, and we've lost two classmates, a lady and a gentleman. So in their honor, we instituted scholarships to fund the education of deserving and needy students. So there was one male student and one female student whose education on campus was sponsored by my
class.
By my classmates. Yes. Yeah. So overall, I mean, it's not just something that I do personally. It's the entire
the larger
class.
group.
The larger group. Yes. And that's a 98
Yeah, I was
graduating
going to ask
class.
that.
Yes.
Okay, that's very impressive. I'm surprised that perhaps it was covered, but I don't know if I remember seeing anything about these donations you're talking about, and it should be given the needed publicity. So we'll definitely follow up on that. But yeah, that's because we need to make noise about it so that if other groups are interested in doing something similar, they know that
Yes.
yeah, the door is open for them to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then exactly on that note as well, there was a suggestion by an alumna that year groups could consider coming back to create some form of a nostalgic memory, in the sense that so the 98-year civil year group would decide that we are coming back to meet the current third-year civil engineering students, and we're going to have a kinky party or a wachi party with them, and an interactive moment and a few games here and there, and then yeah, so that they have the interaction with you, and then they get to experience you, and then have some informal sessions with you as some form of informal mentoring. So your group could consider that, and then
I will take it up with them, and we are coming up on 30 years since we graduated. 98, so in 2 years, 2028 will be 30 years since we graduated. I know the class, we talk occasionally about trying to meet someplace or do something. This is a great idea. So
yeah, you should think about it. The students will love it.
We will.
Yeah. Well, so I think you have sort of given us a lot about what you're doing, and it's very exciting to hear that you're doing all this. So is there anything you've noticed upon your visits to Ghana, your interactions with your people, and what you've seen in general that you think should be addressed at the college or concerning our students or our graduates?
So firstly, I mean, the college has done a lot lately regarding engagement with alumni. There are so many sessions. The provosts and various staff have either met, virtually or attended meetings, in the US where I am, and I presume other locations too. So there is a concerted effort to engage with alumni, which is very important. And also there is the endowment fund, I believe, which has been established. So the university is doing a lot. One suggestion will be to engage students, to reach out to alumni. This is more to inform them of activities going on campus, events, any progress on campus. This will provide value to both the students and to alumni. One, it keeps alumni informed of what's going on besides the notices and publications that are sent out. Secondly, it's an opportunity for students to engage with alumni, which teaches the students an important aspect of industry, cold calling. Now, they're learning about the fundamentals of engineering and the technical aspects. But when they get out in the workplace, they'll need to call clients and they'll need to develop relationship. So this experience while they are in college, talking to alumni and various people. Now, that could also be to solicit funds or some kind of support, internship opportunities or something. But generally, the students benefit, the college benefits, and alumni benefits. So that's one thing that I'm not sure if the college is currently considering or is undertaking. but I believe that will strengthen all parties involved.
Undertaking, no. Considering, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, as an incentive for the students, I don't know what kind of metric can be used to assess this, but students who are able to make X number of calls or generate something, they get some academic credits, 1 point or something. I mean, just something to motivate them, because at the end of the day, I will say we always hear that many graduates support. Yeah, I'm talking of Ghanaian graduates from UST.
Yeah.
When we are discussing sponsorship, many people talk about donating to the colleges they graduated from in the US or whatever country they went to out of Ghana, but there's always a reluctance
when it comes to
support UST, which I mean, this is being recorded, so I'll be civil, but it's
you can't fathom.
It's unbelievable why we have that. And also the added benefit of having the students cold call the alumni is that you begin to institute a culture where the students calling alumni to solicit support, they then become aware that when they graduate, students are going to be calling them. So you begin to slowly institute, kind of the culture and an expectation. So then, there's people are more open. I don't know what else you can do, but that's one idea to consider.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. That is brilliant. And like I said, it is actually being considered. The provost has mentioned it, not just him, but quite a number of faculty. So we definitely will put it to work, because a lot of the things happening at the moment are actually as a result of suggestions from alumni. The quarterly meetings we've been having with alumni online, the mentorship programs, so many parent activities as a result of suggestions from alumni. So definitely this is also going to be rolled out, and you'll see how that works. Like you said, it will create a tradition that would lead them to know that this is expected of you too. So we'll definitely look at that.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Alumnus Raymond, because you don't want me to call you engineer. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everything. We could just end on one note. If you have an advice or something you want to share with us, we'd like to hear it.
For students or for...
Yeah, you could give something for students. You could give also for workers, incoming graduates. What do you think that they need to hear to work with?
I'll say, this will go to students. I'll say the time on campus for most students is the first time they're really experiencing freedom, right?
Yeah.
Out of secondary school and everything. And so it's a bit of an experience, but the 4 years on the university campus helps to mold your career. There is so much more to do besides the classes and the grades. It's very important to excel, but it's probably equally important to make sure that relationships and strong relationships are established, not just with your classmates, with your peers, faculty, across the campus, anyone and everyone, because eventually you will notice that you would interact with so many more of your classmates and other people on campus. And essentially the industry relies on networking. So for the students, you spend your time on campus developing and strengthening your relationships you have, and value and cherish those relationships.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is something a lot of alumni talk about.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So you hammering on it, yeah, shows the importance. Thank you so much, Alumnus Kumapley. And we are so grateful as a college for your dedication and your class. So a lot of thanks to the 98 Civil Year Group for what you're doing. And like Oliver, will keep asking for more.
Please do. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yeah. So
stop. And anyway, we can help. Don't hesitate to ask.
We won't hesitate. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Please enjoy your day.
You too.